Blah, blah, blah.
Is that him?
Looks like trouble. The sheriff's ready for him.
She said, "Don't call him that," and her voice cut the room in half. The man laughed like it was nothing, like the sound hadn't hit bone. The boy leaned back in the chair, bottle loose in his hand, eyes glassy and daring. He said, "Relax, Papa," and the word landed wrong. The room went quiet so fast it felt physical, like a hand on the throat. She stared at him, then at the man standing by the table, and nobody moved. "Why not?" the boy said. "Because it's not funny," she said. "It was a joke." "Say it again and leave." The man stopped smiling. He looked at her like he was weighing something heavy. The boy snorted. "You gonna throw me out now?" She said, "You test me one more time." The man stepped forward. "He didn't mean it." She said, "He said it." The boy tipped the bottle. "You don't own words." She said, "I own this house." He laughed again, louder. "You own paper." She said, "I own land." The man watched her, eyes flat, not sorry, not soft. "And what do you think that buys you?" She didn't raise her voice. "It buys quiet." The boy leaned in. "You think paying my tab made me yours?" She said, "I think it kept you breathing." The man turned to the boy. "Enough." The boy rolled his eyes. "You ain't my father." The word hung there anyway. She took a breath. "This ranch is mine." The boy said, "Everyone knows." "The debt is paid." "Everyone knows." The sheriff signed off. The boy's smile thinned. "Everyone knows that too." She looked at the man. "You're here because I chose you." He said, "You bought me." She said, "I paid what they were going to use to bury you." The boy stood up too fast. "Town wanted me gone." She said, "They wanted you dead." He scoffed. "You saved him?" She said, "No." He blinked. "Then why?" She said, "Because I needed someone the town was scared of." The man's jaw tightened. "You don't get to buy blood." She said, "I didn't buy blood." He said, "Then what did you buy?" The boy laughed again, brittle now. "She bought a pet." She looked at him. "You're grown. You don't talk to me like that. You don't act like a child." He slammed the bottle down. "You got no kids." The room froze. She didn't flinch. "I know." He pushed. "Never did." She said, "Never will." The man looked between them, something dark moving behind his eyes. "Say it again," she told the boy. "Say what?" "The word." He grinned. "Papa?" The man snapped, "Stop." The boy shrugged. "Why you mad?" The man said, "Because it isn't yours to use." The boy leaned closer to her. "What is he to you then?" She said, "He works for me." The man said, "I don't work for free." She said, "You work because you want to live." Silence crept back in, thicker now. The boy sat, then stood again, restless. "You gonna throw me out?" She said, "I already told you." The man watched her, searching. "You serious?" She nodded. The boy raised his hands. "Fine." He smirked. "Relax." He said it again, softer this time, like he was testing a wound. "Papa." She didn't answer. She didn't look away. The man felt the word settle, heavy and wrong, and the house held its breath with her. The boy waited for a reaction, any crack, but she stayed still. The man shifted his weight. "You don't get to poke at that," he said. The boy smirked. "Looks like I do." She finally spoke. "Last warning." The boy tilted his head. "Or what?" She said, "Or you walk." He laughed once, sharp. This town already kicked me. She said, this isn't the town. He glanced around. You hiding behind him now? The man said, you should leave. The boy sneered. Make me. The man didn't move. She said, door. The boy took 2 steps, stopped, then turned back. You think you can buy family? She said, I didn't buy that. He said it again, almost kind, almost cruel. Papa. The man closed his eyes. She stayed silent. The lamp hummed as the night pressed closer, and nobody laughed, breathed, or apologized any more there. The room smelled of tobacco and dust. The man leaned against the doorframe, eyes dark, and said, so, you really bought me? She didn't flinch. I paid what they were going to use to bury you. He raised an eyebrow. That's your version. She said, it's the truth. The boy sat on the floor, bottle at his side, listening. Saved me? He asked. She shook her head. No, then why? Because I needed someone the town was scared of. The man exhaled, slow, deliberate. And that makes it fair? Fair, she said. I didn't care about fair. I cared about survival. He stepped closer. You got a receipt? She pulled a folded paper from her coat pocket and placed it on the table. Here. He studied it. The handwriting, the ink, the stamp from the sheriff. And the governor's old favor, she said, almost casually. He looked up, frowning. That part? She nodded. All part of the deal. You really paid to keep me out of jail? He sounded more surprised than offended. I didn't rescue you, she said. I chose you. The boy snorted. Chosen, huh? She didn't answer. The man picked up the paper, unfolded it carefully, scanning each line. You realize what this makes you? Owner? Buyer, he said. But you didn't buy me. Then what? Quiet. Control. Presence. Someone the town fears. He looked up. So, fear is enough for you? For the town? Yes. For me? Maybe. She said it without hesitation. He shook his head. You think numbers make people yours? She said, I don't think. I do. He tapped the paper. Deed, sheriff, governor, coins. You think that changes anything about me? It changes everything for the town. And for you? She stared at him. It changes how I sleep at night. He laughed, low and bitter. Sleep's overrated. She didn't reply. You paid, he said. Yes. But you didn't save me. No, she repeated. Silence stretched for a moment, heavy and deliberate. The boy shifted, restless. Then what did you buy? He asked, voice rough. Someone who doesn't blink when they stare at fire, she said. The man considered that. You didn't buy loyalty, he said. I didn't intend to. Then what? A reckoning, she said. A balance. He stared at her, trying to read the lines between her words. And it's working? It is, she said. For me. He folded the receipt and slid it back across the table. Then don't ask me to behave. She met his eyes. I didn't. He nodded, almost approvingly. The boy laughed, sharp and brittle. You keep score like it's a ledger. She said nothing. The man said, I've been on the edge my whole life. Don't think a sheet of paper changes that. She replied, I never thought it did. Silence settled again, this time more deliberate. Dust floated in the thin shafts of light. Outside, the wind moved dry leaves. The boy leaned back, bottle forgotten. So it's official then, he said. You bought him and he stays? I didn't buy him, she said. I chose him. Same thing, he muttered. Not quite, she said. The man ran a hand over the edge of the table. Paper, numbers, favors, town thinks they own me now? They think they control you. Do they? She shrugged. They'll learn. You'll teach them. By being untamed? By being here, she said. He considered the logic. So, I stay? Yes. For you? For me, she said. The boy smirked. Funny, staying for someone isn't saving them. She didn't smile. I never claimed it would. He laughed, quiet this time, almost genuine. Then what did I get out of this? Life, she said. And fear. I got fear too, he said, nodding at her. Good, she said. The air between them tightened, charged with quiet understanding. He folded the receipt again, careful, precise, and placed it neatly on the table. Don't think I owe you anything. She said, I never expected you to. Then we're clear. Crystal, she said. The boy rose, stretching. So what now? She said, you live. That's what now. And tomorrow? Tomorrow, the same. And the next day? Same. Forever? Until the town learns its place. And what about us? He asked, finally, voice lower. Us? Yeah. You and me. She met his eyes, steady. We survive. Together. The boy laughed again, mockingly. Sounds poetic. She didn't reply. I'm serious, he said. So am I, she said. Good, he nodded. Then let's see how long the town lasts. The lamp flickered as dust settled on the table. Silence came again, softer this time, like breathing between storms. The man stood and nodded at her. Then I behave, for now. She gave him a thin smile. That's enough. The boy sat again, muttering under his breath. Owner, chooser, same difference. She ignored him. Outside, the wind picked up, rattling old shutters. He looked at her one last time. You're not soft. She said, nor are you soft with them. Good, he said. And for the first time that night, he didn't laugh. The room smelled heavier tonight, like sweat and old timber. He leaned in the corner, quiet, and said, You flinch every time. She didn't move. Stop noticing, she said. Who was he? The question hung like smoke. Gone, she said. Silence pressed between them. The boy shifted on the floor, restless, bottle at his side, watching every flicker of movement. Gone, he repeated. He fell, she said quietly, almost a whisper, but she didn't elaborate. The man's eyes narrowed. Fell? He's buried, she said. No one spoke. The air held the past like a heavy weight. He stepped closer, voice low. Every time you hear that word, she cut him off. Don't. Papa, he said softly, almost teasing. She shook her head. If you say it again, you sleep outside. He smiled, slow, like he had nothing to lose. Like I ever sleep inside. She didn't answer. She only watched him. He circled, careful, testing. You flinch because it reminds you, he said. She said nothing. The boy leaned back, smirk barely there. Reminds you of who? Of him, she said. He froze. Your husband? She looked away, hands tightening on the edge of the table. Yes. The boy laughed, short and brittle. So it's haunted. It isn't haunted, she said sharply. It's memory. Memory? The man's tone was curious, probing. Memory won't let you breathe, she said. Then why keep breathing here, he asked. She swallowed. Because I have to. He stepped closer. And every time I say it, you jump. Stop, she said, voice rising. I'm just testing you, he said. Testing what? Whether you still feel it. She didn't answer. The room grew tighter with silence. Dust floated in the lamplight. Outside, wind whispered against broken shutters. "You don't answer," he said. "You don't ask," she replied. He tilted his head. "Who was he to you?" "Husband," she said. "He's dead," he said. "He died," she corrected. The boy's eyes flicked between them. "And the town?" "They never agreed," she said. "Agreed to what?" "How he died." He shook his head. "And the grave?" "Unmarked." Another silence. The boy's smirk faded. "So it's all lies and shadows." She didn't reply. "No," she said finally. "Not lies. Survival." He laughed, low, unsettling. "You flinch because it's still real." She said nothing. "Every time I say Papa," he continued, voice almost gentle now, "you remember him." She looked at him, cold. "Then stop." He shook his head. "I can't. You flinch every time. I need to see it." "Then leave," she said. "Or what?" "Or you walk out that door." "I won't," he said. "You think I care about your warnings?" "I warned you." Silence again. The boy leaned forward, resting his chin on his hand. "Sounds like a curse." She glanced at him. "Not a curse. Consequence." The man moved closer, softer. "Then let me feel it. Let me say it." She swallowed. "Fine," she said, voice quiet but firm. "Say it." He took a deep breath. "Papa." She felt it land in the room, heavy, sharp. Her chest tightened. "Enough," she said. He only smiled, not mocking, just testing. "One more time," he whispered. "Papa." She glared, voice low. "Sleep outside." He shrugged, almost resigned. "Like I said. I never sleep inside anyway." The boy laughed quietly, bitter, shifting on the floor. "So the word lives." "It never left," she said. "And now?" "Now we see who bends first." He tilted his head, expression unreadable. "Maybe neither," he said. Silence stretched. The lamp flickered, shadows moving across walls scarred by old memories. Outside, wind rattled the shutters, carrying whispers no one wanted to hear. She leaned back, hands folded, waiting. He leaned forward, eyes sharp. "So it stays," he said. "Yes," she said. "The name stays," he murmured. "Like it never should have left," she said. The air was tight, charged, filled with the weight of words. "Papa," he said one last time, soft, testing, almost human. She didn't answer. She didn't need to. The room held its breath with her. And for a long moment, the past and present pressed together, quiet, unbroken, waiting for the next move. They rode into town without ceremony, horses stirring dust along the main street. The sheriff stood near the saloon, hands on his belt, eyes narrow. "You shouldn't be here," he said. She didn't slow. "I own this place," she said. "The land doesn't matter," he said. The rancher smirked, leaning on his saddle. "Say it again," he muttered. "Don't," she said sharply. "I won't let them," he began. "You don't protect me," she cut in. The sheriff raised an eyebrow. "You can't keep wild things on paper," he said. She looked at him, steady. "Watch me." The store owner didn't look at them. He stacked tins silently, fingers trembling. She stepped in, boots heavy on the floor. "We're here for supplies," she said. "Nothing for you," he muttered. A boy from the corner spat on the floor. "Baron," he said. The word hit harder than a whip. She didn't flinch. The rancher looked at her. "Don't answer that," he said. "Answer," she said. "Some things don't need speaking." A woman whispered behind a curtain, eyes sharp. "She shouldn't be here." She didn't move. The air was thick with judgment, silence, and dust. The sheriff approached again. "You know what the families think." She said, "I know." "Quiet votes," he muttered. "Silent punishments," she said. "And you think you control this?" "I already do," she said. The rancher chuckled. "Everyone thinks they own something," he said. She nodded. "Let them think." "But they act," the sheriff said. "Yes," she said. "But I act too." The town felt like a weight pressing in, narrow streets like hands gripping them. The rancher nudged her shoulder. "Say it again," he whispered. "Don't," she said. He smiled anyway. The store owner muttered as they left. "You think you can hold the town?" She glanced at him. "We already do." Outside, a cart rattled past, horses clattering over cobbles. Someone shouted from a window, "She'll never tame him." The rancher raised an eyebrow. "She doesn't try." "Then why do they care?" she said. "Fear," he said. "Power," she added. "And silence," he said. "They'll learn," she said. "Or they'll die trying." The wind moved dry leaves along the street, and the town seemed smaller, weaker, like paper under fire. They rode past the courthouse. A woman leaned on the railing, eyes sharp. "She's no mother," she muttered. "Never was," the rancher said. "Baron," the boy said quietly. She didn't answer. He nudged her. "Ignore them," he said. She didn't flinch. The sheriff stepped aside, letting them pass. "You think the town will give up?" he asked quietly. "They have no choice," she said. "We aren't leaving." The rancher smirked. "Not until they understand what it means to cross us." "Or what it means to survive," she added. The air grew hotter, dust swirling around the hooves. A man near the well spat. "You don't belong," he said. "I belong wherever I choose," she said. The rancher looked at her. "Exactly," he said. Another shout from a corner. "She bought him." "No," she said. "I chose him." Silence followed. The town held its breath. Shadows leaned across storefronts, and windows reflected suspicion like glass knives. He said softly, "It's strange, isn't it? They can't touch us." She said, "That's because we don't give them the chance." The boy laughed, low, bitter. "Wild things on paper," he muttered. "You warned them," she said. "Yes," he said. "And they still stare." "Let them stare," she said. "It doesn't matter what they think." "Not until it costs them," the rancher said. "Exactly," she said. "And when it does?" he asked. "We endure," she said. The streets narrowed, wind catching dry scraps of paper and dust. The town murmured, eyes watching, whispers sharp as knives. "And if they come for us?" the man asked. "Then we remind them," she said. "We are not to be ignored." They reached the edge of town. The sheriff looked them over one last time. "You think you can hold him?" he asked. She said, "I already do." The rancher nodded. "We own our ground." "And the town?" he asked. "They'll learn," she said. "Or they'll leave." Dust swirled around their boots as the horses trotted past the last shop. Silence followed. The town held its breath, powerless and sharp, as the rancher and woman left without a single backward glance. They had survived the street, the eyes, the words. Outside, the wind whispered over empty alleys. The sheriff muttered under his breath, "Wild things on paper." She looked at him, calm. "Watch me." The night had settled heavy over the ranch, wind whispering through the broken shutters. They stood at the old well, wood-worn and darkened by rain and years, the rope coiled loosely at its side. The rancher leaned on the edge, arms crossed. "Did he asked quietly, almost a whisper. She didn't move at first. "I didn't push," she said, voice low, steady. A pause stretched between them, filled with the night, the sound of wind moving through the trees. "But you didn't stop it either," she admitted after a long breath. He didn't respond, just stared into the dark water, eyes reflecting the dim lantern light. The boy shifted behind them, bottle in hand, watching the scene as though it belonged to someone else. He fell, he muttered. That's what they say, she said. But no one knows, the rancher said, voice careful. Not even us, she said. Silence pressed again, thick and alive. The rope moved slightly in the breeze, scraping the stone edge. The past was a weight pressing on their shoulders, unspoken, but present in every creak, every whisper. The rancher crouched closer to the well. Do you think about him? He asked. Every day, she said. Every day he walks through this place like a shadow. You hear him? He asked softly. Sometimes, she admitted. Voices you shouldn't hear, he said. Memory, she said, almost bitter. Or curse, he whispered. I don't believe in curses, she said. But the weight's the same. The boy laughed, short and bitter. Wait, he repeated. Yeah, she said. That's exactly it. The rancher touched the edge of the well. So this is where it ends? It doesn't end, she said. It waits. The wind shifted, rattling the old tin roof, sending dust motes into the lantern light. And silence, he asked. Silence becomes loud, she said. Sometimes louder than words. He looked at her, expression unreadable. And you? She asked. I listen, he said. I see, he said quietly. Not enough, she asked. It's enough, he said. For now. The boy crouched next to them. You still call him by name? He asked. She shook her head. Never. But it's here, he said, tapping his chest. Everywhere, she said. Everywhere, he repeated, quieter. The rancher's hand hovered over the rope. Testing, he said. Always testing, she said. He looked at her, careful. And me? You, she said. You test the world, I test you, she said. The boy snorted. Funny, he said. The world's a well, I guess. Deep. Full of shadows. She didn't answer. The rancher leaned closer. Do you ever regret it? No, she said. Regret would mean I could change it. I can't. A long silence fell. The well was still except for the wind and distant cries of animals. Papa, he whispered, soft, deliberate. She didn't correct him. She only watched, hands tightening at her sides. He said it again, almost testing the limits. Papa. She stayed quiet, letting the word hang in the air. The boy laughed lightly, bitter, shaking his head. Names stick, he said. Like shadows. She nodded, eyes fixed on the rope, on the dark water below. Enough for tonight, she finally said. Go inside. The rancher straightened. You sure? She nodded. Yes. Go. Let the night hold the rest. He stepped back, quiet, giving her space. The boy followed him reluctantly, glancing over his shoulder. She remained, staring at the well, listening to the wind, feeling the weight of everything left unspoken. Outside, the ranch was silent, but heavy. The past was still here, and the name that shouldn't die was alive in the dark, echoing softly off the old stones. The sun was low, casting long shadows over the ranch. Dust hung in the air like smoke, stirred by the hooves of approaching horses. He saw them first, 3 men riding hard, faces hidden under white hats, guns at their sides. They came for you, he said quietly. She didn't flinch. Then let them, she said. The boy shifted beside her, restless, bottle forgotten. Do you want me to fight? He asked. She shook her head. Watch. Learn. The men dismounted, boots crunching on gravel. You don't own him, the tallest one said, voice rough and clipped. The rancher stepped forward, hands relaxed, eyes sharp. I own the land, he said. That won't stop bullets, the man spat. It already has, the rancher said, slow, calm. The air felt electric, every heartbeat loud in the quiet that followed. He moved like a predator, not clean, not measured, but fast, striking first. A fist, a kick, a gun swung once, nothing theatrical, just survival. She watched from the porch, arms folded, silent, not a word of interference. The first man fell to his knees, blood on his shirt. The second lunged. He grabbed the man by the collar, slammed him to the dirt. The third fired too late, horse kicking, gun rattling. The rancher didn't flinch, didn't falter. Each move was precise, but brutal, necessary. She stepped closer, hands on the rail, eyes calculating. "You like that?" she said after a long pause. "I needed it," he replied, chest heaving. "You needed me." "Don't flatter yourself," he said. "I never do." The men lay groaning, scattered across the ground. Dust rose in thin clouds, catching the sun. The boy laughed, short, brittle. "Bought men don't kneel." "We don't," the rancher said. "We survive." "And the town?" she asked. "They'll learn," he said. He wiped blood from his knuckles, eyes meeting hers. "Or they'll regret not learning." She nodded, not impressed, but satisfied. The boy kicked at one of the men, laughing low. "Lesson 1, she said. "Lesson 2, the rancher added. "Lesson 3, the boy muttered, smirk faint. She handed him a canteen of water. "Drink," she said. He took it, gulping fast. "No thanks," he said. "You needed that," she said. "I did," he admitted. "No excuses," she said. "No excuses," he repeated. The boy leaned against the porch, watching. "You hurt them bad," he said. "They came here," she said. "And now?" he asked. "They'll leave," she said. "And if they don't?" he asked. "Then we'll remind them," she said. The rancher laughed low. "That's how it works." The men groaned, trying to rise, but the rancher didn't give them the chance. "Don't move," he said. "Stay down." One whispered, "We were sent." "By who?" she asked. "The town," he admitted. She nodded. "Then the town learned its first lesson," she said. The rancher turned to the boy. "Remember this," he said. "Not every fight is fair. Not every man kneels." The boy's eyes widened. "And some men just don't." "Exactly," she said. The wind moved again, scattering dust over the scene. He stood, chest heaving, water still in his hand. She studied him, quiet, steady. "You're not soft," she said. "Nor are you soft with them," he said. "Good," she replied. They looked over the men lying broken and bleeding, the ranch silent but alive around them. The boy muttered, "Guess the town didn't see that coming." "No," she said. "No one sees what's coming." The rancher wiped his hands, water dripping from his mouth. "Lesson learned?" he asked. "Maybe," the boy said. "Maybe not," she added. He glanced at her. "You're different," he said. "So are you," she replied. The air was still, heavy with dust and quiet, the remnants of violence settling over the land. No thanks were exchanged. None needed. The men stayed where they were, groaning, learning in their own way. The rancher and the woman walked toward the porch. The boy followed, shifting, thoughtful. The wind carried whispers of the fight across the open land. The sun dipped lower. The ranch waited. The land was theirs. And outside, the first shadows of evening stretched long and quiet, reminding everyone who truly held the ground. The porch was quiet now, the fight over, dust settling over hoofprints and blood. He leaned against the railing, bruised but steady. The boy sat on the steps, bottle forgotten, watching both of them. "So," he said finally, voice low, "you never wanted children." She didn't flinch. "I didn't." "Never?" "Never." "And now?" he asked, curious, testing. She looked at him steadily. "And now, still none." The rancher smiled faintly. "Maybe you never did want them, but you got me instead." You aren't a child, she said. No, he admitted. But you test me. I test the world, she said. You? He shrugged. I test you. Silence hung heavy. The boy laughed, low, bitter. Sounds like they flipped the roles, he muttered. Maybe, she said. Maybe some lessons aren't what you expect. He leaned closer, eyes sharp. You buying sons now? I'm buying silence, she said. Silence, he repeated. Not noise, she clarified. Not chaos. Just quiet. The boy snorted. Quiet doesn't come cheap. She looked at him. I didn't say it did. The rancher chuckled softly. And if it fails? It won't, she said. Not entirely. He studied her, bruises and blood fading from the fight still raw on his skin. Then why do you look relieved when I stay? She didn't answer immediately. He waited, leaning against the railing, patience testing her. Because someone chose to stay, she said finally. And not because they had to. He nodded slowly. That's a kind of mercy. Or understanding, she said. The boy laughed, bitter, muttering, mercy. Understanding. Sounds poetic. She didn't answer. The rancher stepped closer. And what about the rest? He asked. The town? She shook her head. They don't matter here. Then why the rules? He asked. Because someone has to survive, she said. And someone has to enforce it. Even if it hurts? Even if it hurts, she said. Sometimes survival isn't kind. The boy shifted on the steps. I guess that's why you stay, he muttered. Because it isn't kind, and you still endure. She looked at him. Exactly. He turned to her. And you ever feel the pull? To want something different? I did, she said. Once. Long ago. He raised an eyebrow. And now? Now I have what matters, she said, voice firm. Even if it isn't what I imagined. He nodded, considering. So you don't regret? No, she said. Regret would mean I could change it. I can't. I endure. I choose. The boy shifted again, bottle still at his side. And what if someone calls me son? He asked. I won't, she said. Not unless it matters. He smiled faintly. And if I call you Ma? The rancher paused. Just once, he said. She didn't answer. She didn't need to. She only watched him, leaning back, eyes steady, waiting. Silence wrapped them, thick, quiet, but not uncomfortable. Presence replaced words. He stepped closer, voice soft. You know, I never had one. A father. The word, it meant something when I heard it. Powerful. She nodded, quiet. Then say it if you mean it, she said. He looked at her. I do, he said. The boy watched them, still, curious, silent. The night pressed around the ranch, shadows long, wind moving over dry leaves. They didn't speak more. They didn't need to. The rancher stayed, the woman stayed, and for a moment, the world felt narrow enough to hold them both. He said the word once more, soft, deliberate. Not laughing. Not testing. Ma. She stayed quiet. She didn't walk away. She didn't speak. But she stayed. And that was enough. The town hall smelled of dust, wood, and old sweat. The room was crowded, voices low, murmuring, knives in whispers. She stepped in, boots heavy on the floor, eyes sharp. The rancher followed, silent, leaning against the wall. The sheriff rose, glancing at them, hands on his belt. We all know why you're here, he said. She said nothing. The vote, he continued. The town needs answers. And you think I care what the town wants? She asked. You should, he said. You've upset enough old families. The boy sat on a bench, bottle at his side, smirking faintly. "So this is it," he muttered. She didn't answer. "No speeches," she said, voice low. "Only truth." The sheriff nodded. "Then tell us," he said. "About him." She looked at the rancher. He shrugged. "They already know," he said. "Or they think they do." "Your husband," the sheriff said, voice softer now. "Killed," he added, looking at her. "By whom?" "The vote buried it," she said. "And the well hid it," the rancher added, cold. The room fell silent. Eyes darted between them, whispers halted. "You all knew," she said finally. "You let it happen." Someone coughed, fingers tightening on wooden benches. We didn't know," a woman said. "Didn't stop it," she corrected. "You can't lie here." "Not to me." The air grew heavy, thick with accusation and truth. The sheriff stepped forward. "You raised him?" he asked the rancher. "No," he said. "She chose me," he added, eyes on the woman. Murmurs spread like fire. "Chose you," someone hissed. "Over what? Blood? Tradition?" The woman's eyes didn't leave the rancher. "Over fear," she said. "Over survival." The boy snorted. "Fear works better than prayers," he muttered. The sheriff's voice sharpened. "Then you claim ownership?" She shook her head. "I don't claim. I choose." "That's the difference." "And what about the vote?" someone asked from the back. "It was theater," she said. "A performance to appease the past." The rancher stepped forward. "The town thought it could control me," he said. "It couldn't. She chose me. Not the vote. Not the past. Me." Murmurs grew louder, voices raised, questions sharp. "And the deed?" "The sheriff's signature," someone asked. "Symbols," she said. "Symbols to scare the timid. Nothing more." The boy leaned forward, watching every expression, calculating. "So the town knows its place," he said. "And still, it resists," she said. "Let them," the rancher added. "They'll learn." The sheriff rubbed his temples, silent now, eyes sharp on both of them. "And the town's elders?" he asked quietly. "Whispering votes," she said. "Silent punishments. Nothing more." The room grew still again. Shadows stretched across benches, over faces tight with surprise, fear, and disbelief. "You all knew," she said again. "And you let it happen. No heroics. No rescues. Just silence." A cough. Someone began. She cut them off. "No excuses. No lies. Only truth." The rancher stepped closer to her side. "And if anyone tries to interfere?" "They'll learn," she said. "We endure. Together." The boy smiled faintly. "You make the world narrow, don't you?" "Enough to hold us," she said. The sheriff finally backed down, slow, deliberate. "Then the vote," he said. "Means nothing," she said. "Nothing," the rancher repeated. Murmurs turned to whispers, whispers to silence. The town held its breath, watching, waiting, powerless. "And if someone doubts," the sheriff asked quietly. "They'll see," she said. "Or leave." Outside, wind rattled shutters. Shadows leaned over empty streets. The boy muttered, "Vote or no vote, same difference." She didn't answer. The rancher's hand brushed hers lightly. "We leave now?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "Leave them with their silence." They turned to go, slow, deliberate steps. The town's eyes followed, sharp, curious, helpless. Every whisper, every glance, every judgment now powerless. The sheriff watched, still silent, hands on belt, lips pressed tight. The rancher and woman moved past benches, past the whispering crowd. The boy trailed, smirking faintly. Outside, the door closed behind them, dust rising in slow swirls. Shadows fell long over empty streets. The town was left with questions it couldn't answer. She breathed, slow, deliberate. "The vote changes nothing," she said. The rancher nodded. "Nothing at all." The boy laughed quietly. "Power isn't on paper," he muttered. "No," she said. "It isn't." And together, they walked into the fading light, leaving the town and its whispers behind, silent but alive, strong enough to endure whatever came next. The ranch was quiet again, night pressing over the land like a heavy blanket. Firelight flickered in the main room, shadows stretching along walls scarred with memory. The rancher sat near the hearth, elbows on knees, hands clasped. "I never had a father," he said quietly. She didn't reply immediately. "The word," he continued, voice low, "it felt powerful when I heard it. Like it belonged to someone I never knew." She nodded slowly, watching the fire. "Then say it if you mean it," she said finally, voice soft but steady. He looked up, eyes sharp. "Say it?" "Yes." "The word." "Papa." The boy shifted on the floor, silent, listening. "You mean it?" she asked. "I do," he said. He hesitated only for a breath, then spoke again. "Papa." The fire flickered, shadows dancing, settling over the room like ghosts. Silence fell, thick, heavy, but not awkward. She didn't respond verbally. She only watched, letting the word land, letting the meaning settle. The boy muttered softly, "So it sticks." "It never left," she said quietly. The rancher leaned back, eyes closing for a moment. "And the receipt?" he asked. She stood, moving toward the hearth. Flames licked the edges of the paper she held. "It doesn't matter anymore," she said. The rancher's eyes opened, curious. "Then we burn it?" "Yes," she said. The fire swallowed the paper slowly, black curling smoke rising. The rancher watched, silent. Ownership, debts, agreements, they dissolved into the night with a faint crackle of flame. "Feels different," he said finally. "Yes," she said. "Like a weight lifted." "Or shared," he murmured. "Or chosen," she said. The boy snorted lightly. "Funny, isn't it? Choices can burn too." She didn't answer. "I didn't buy you," she said quietly. "I know," he said. "But now, it's different." "Different how?" "We're not bound by paper. By town. By fear. Only by what we mean to each other." She nodded, letting the words settle like ash in the room. He leaned forward, elbows on knees again, voice soft. "Papa isn't a joke anymore." She didn't smile. "No," she said. "It isn't." The boy shifted, leaning back against the wall. "And I thought I'd never hear that word with truth behind it," he muttered. She watched him. "Some words," she said slowly, "are only heavy until someone carries them right." The rancher looked up at her, eyes sharp. "And now we carry it together?" She nodded. "Together." The fire crackled, shadows moving like living things over floorboards worn with years. The rancher's hand hovered near hers, almost touching. "We burn the past," he said softly. "We keep what matters." She met his eyes. "And what matters?" "Us," he said. The boy muttered under his breath, "Funny. Power, fear, and paper all gone, and this is what's left." She didn't answer. She only watched the fire, feeling the heat, feeling the weight lift slowly from the ranch, from him, from herself. "Say it again," she said quietly. "If you mean it." "Papa," he said, soft, deliberate. No laughter. No teasing. Just the word, carrying the weight of years, absence, and now presence. She nodded, letting it settle. "And the town?" the boy asked quietly. "Let them wonder," she said. "Let them think what they will. It doesn't change us." "And the receipt?" "Ash," she said. "Nothing more." He leaned back, shoulders loosening, the tension of old names, old debts, and old towns falling away. "So, this is it?" he asked. "This is it," she said. "No more jokes. No more tests. Just words we mean," he said. She nodded. "And actions we choose," she added. Outside, the wind moved dry leaves across the porch. Inside, firelight played over the walls, over faces, over a quiet that no one wanted to break. He spoke once more, low, deliberate. "Papa." She didn't answer with words. She only let the meaning, the choice, and the night hold them together. The boy laughed softly, bitter but faintly approving. And the ranch, heavy with memory and shadows, breathed quiet around them. They were here. They were chosen. And for the first time, the word carried warmth instead of echoing absence. The fire had burned low, glowing embers casting faint light over the walls. The ranch was quiet, except for the soft creak of wood settling and wind stirring dry leaves outside. She sat on the porch, elbows on knees, staring into the dying glow. He leaned against the railing, bruised, tired, but steady. The boy crouched nearby, bottle forgotten, watching both of them. "So, we stay," he said finally. "We stay," she said. "Together?" he asked. "Together," she repeated. "Leave?" the boy asked, uncertain. She shook her head. "Not tonight. Not yet." "And tomorrow?" he pressed. "Same," she said. "And after that?" "Same," she said again, voice steady. He studied her for a long moment. "We don't need them," he said. She looked at him. "No. We don't need their approval. Not anymore." The rancher nodded slowly. "Then what remains?" he asked quietly. She gestured at the fire. "This. The land. The quiet. And the choices we make." He watched the last embers glow and fade. "Still childless?" he asked. She didn't flinch. "Still childless. And alone?" He paused. She looked at him steadily. "No. Never alone." He leaned back, shoulders easing. "Then, what else remains?" "Truth," she said. "And survival," he added. "And fire," she said, smiling faintly. "And us," he said. The boy muttered under his breath, "All the hard things, all together." She nodded. The wind stirred outside, rattling shutters softly. He touched her hand lightly. "You didn't buy me," she said quietly. "I know," he said. "But you chose me," she said. "I did," he admitted. A pause hung between them, thick, comfortable. The boy shifted on the steps. "Funny," he said. "Paper burned, town silenced, words finally carry weight, and here you are." She laughed softly, low, without joy or mirth, just acknowledgement. He looked at her. "So this is what remains?" "Yes," she said. "Enough?" he asked. "More than enough," she said. The fire hissed softly, smoke curling toward the ceiling, shadows dancing over worn floorboards and old timber. "Do we need more?" he asked. "No," she said. "This is enough." Outside, the wind carried the smell of dry earth and smoke, settling over the ranch like a promise. The boy leaned back, bottle in hand, staring at the last glow. "Funny," he muttered. "Everything breaks down. Words. Town. People. And yet," he shrugged. "Some things remain." "Yes," she said quietly. "Some things remain." The rancher nodded, hands clasped loosely, eyes on her. "We endure," he said. "We remain," she added. Silence wrapped them, heavy, calm, like the night itself was watching. "Papa," he whispered, soft, deliberate, almost testing. She didn't answer with words. She let the weight of it, the meaning of it, settle. The fire burned lower, embers flicking faintly, carrying warmth but no heat. Shadows moved across walls, across faces, across the space that had once been haunted with past names and debts. The ranch was theirs. The night was theirs. The word, the choice, and the land all remained. He leaned back, shoulders easing. Then we remain, he said. She nodded. And the town? Let them wonder, she said. They'll see what remains when we choose. The boy muttered, funny how survival and choice are heavier than any vote, any paper, any name. She nodded, quiet. And worth more, she said. He looked at her, faint smile, tired but certain. They sat, three of them, in quiet agreement. Nothing else needed speaking. The fire went out, leaving only the faint glow of embers in memory. The wind whispered across dry leaves, the old ranch held tight in the night, and what remained was simple: truth, choice, presence. The boy shifted, the rancher relaxed, and she breathed, slow, deliberate. The past lay behind them, the town forgotten for now, and the night, quiet but alive, carried them forward. You didn't buy me, he said softly. I know, she said. You chose me, he repeated. I did, she said. The embers faded completely. Silence settled. Enough. Just enough. The land, the fire, the word, the choices, the people who mattered. All that remained was what they had made, what they had chosen, and what they would endure together. The ranch held its breath with them, quiet, patient, eternal.